Hello mates, welcome to the West 6 Mixology podcast. I'm Scotty Clark and our show today is about a festive cocktail that brings together the tart brightness of cranberries with effervescent bubbles to create the perfect drink for your holiday gatherings and special moments. Picture this. Someone hands you a glass of something bubbly, pink and festive at a holiday brunch. You take a sip. It's tart, it's elegant, it's got that champagne sparkle, and you think, this is lovely, but is it actually a cocktail? That's the existential crisis that is the poinsettia. It's been quietly bubbling away at holiday parties for decades, dismissed by cocktail snobs as just juice and champagne. Yet somehow it keeps showing up, year after year, like that relative who brings the same casserole to every gathering. But here's the thing. Sometimes the simplest answers are the right ones. Sometimes 3 ingredients, properly balanced, create something that doesn't need to apologize for being exactly what it is. A gorgeous, drinkable celebration in a glass. The poinsettia doesn't have one of those mythical origin stories where a legendary bartender in Havana or Paris invents it for a countess at midnight. No dramatic moment. No single genius claiming credit. Instead, it emerged sometime during the cocktail dark ages, that stretch from the 80s into the 90s, when classic cocktail culture had flatlined, and bars were churning out cosmopolitans, sex on the beaches, and anything else that looked good under neon lights. This was the era when cranberry juice was riding a cultural wave, thanks to aggressive marketing about health benefits and its association with Thanksgiving. Bartenders in hotel bars and country clubs, places where holiday brunches were serious business, started playing around with the obvious. What if we put cranberry juice in champagne? Now, cranberry and orange were already best friends in the juice aisle, so adding orange liqueur made intuitive sense. Someone, somewhere, looked at the resulting drink, this beautiful, deep, pink-red thing sparkling in a flute, and thought of those ubiquitous Christmas plants that had taken over every grocery store and living room in America. The name wrote itself, Poinsettia. Festive, recognizable, and it told you exactly when to drink it. No explanation needed. The drink spread through word of mouth and holiday menus, not because some celebrity endorsed it or a famous bar put it on the map, but because it solved a problem. People wanted something celebratory and easy to make in volume that felt more special than a mimosa but didn't require a degree in mixology. And that's where the controversy lives. See, when the craft cocktail renaissance hit, bartenders started rediscovering forgotten classics, mastering Japanese precision techniques, clarifying everything in sight, basically treating cocktails like the serious culinary art form they'd always been. In that world, the poinsettia looked suspiciously like something your aunt made from a magazine recipe. Just juice and bubbly, right? What's to respect? But here's what the purists missed. Simplicity isn't the same as simple-mindedness. A perfect poinsettia requires quality judgment, restraint, and understanding of balance. It's the cocktail equivalent of a perfectly roasted chicken. Technically simple, surprisingly hard to get exactly right, and when you do, it doesn't need to apologize for not being coq au vin.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
Let's talk about what's actually happening in this glass, because it's more interesting than it looks. You've got 3 players here, and each one has a specific job. First, the champagne, or more accurately, whatever quality sparkling wine you're using, because, let's be honest, you're probably not cracking a bottle of Verve for this, and that's perfectly fine. The bubbles aren't just fun, they're structural. That carbonation lifts the other flavours, prevents the drink from becoming flat and juice-like, and creates a texture that makes you want to take another sip. The acidity in sparkling wine, especially in drier styles like Brut, cuts through sweetness and provides that crisp backbone. You want something with character here, not prestige cuvée, but not bottom shelf either. A decent Prosecco or Cava will do beautiful work. Brut or extra Brut styles are key because you're about to add sweetness and you need that dry foundation to keep everything from tipping into cloying territory. Then there's cranberry juice. And this is where things get interesting. Pure cranberry juice, the 100% stuff, is bracingly tart, almost astringent. It's got this deep red colour from anthocyanin pigments, loads of natural acid, and very little sugar. It's basically the opposite of pleasant on its own, which is why most people only know cranberry cocktail, that sweetened, diluted version that's much friendlier, but also turns your poinsettia into liquid candy. If you're using pure cranberry juice, you need that third ingredient to rescue you. If you're using cranberry cocktail, you might want to pull back slightly on proportions, or you'll end up with something that tastes like festive cough syrup. Which brings us to Cointreau or Grand Marnier or whatever quality orange liqueur you've got. This isn't just sweetener, though it does provide essential sugar to balance that cranberry tartness. It's the bridge ingredient, the one that ties cranberry and champagne together and stops them from just sitting in the same glass, ignoring each other. Orange and cranberry are natural companions. That combination has been showing up in sauces and baked goods forever for a reason. The orange liqueur adds aromatic complexity, a subtle warmth from its alcohol content, and a citrus brightness that makes the whole thing smell more interesting than it would otherwise. Cointreau's the standard. Clean, clear, pure orange flavour at 40% alcohol. What you don't want is that artificially flavoured bottom shelf triple sec that tastes like orange furniture polish. This is a 3-ingredient drink. Every component is exposed. There's nowhere to hide inferior ingredients. So here's how you build this thing without destroying it. Because technique matters even when, especially when, it looks simple. Everything needs to be cold, not cool, not room temperature that you tell yourself is fine, actually cold. Your champagne should come straight from the refrigerator. Your cranberry juice should be chilled. Your Cointreau ideally lives in the fridge too. And your glass, whether you're using a flute or a coupe, needs to be properly chilled. Stick it in the freezer for 15 minutes, or fill it with ice water, let it sit, then dump it out right before you build the drink. A warm glass will murder your carbonation in seconds and warm up the whole drink before the first sip.
Oh, hey, friend. Do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast, too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today. Holler, holler!
Now the order matters. You're not shaking this. You're not stirring it aggressively. You're building it directly in the glass with the gentleness of someone diffusing a very sparkly bomb. Start with the cranberry juice and Cointreau. 1 ounce of cranberry, ½ an ounce of orange liqueur, right into your chilled glass. These are your heavier, denser ingredients, and they're going in first so the champagne can naturally integrate with them as you pour. Then comes the champagne. About 4 ounces, but here's the critical part. Pour it slowly down the side of the glass. Tilt the glass at a 45-degree angle like you're pouring a beer, and let that champagne slide down the side rather than splashing directly into the juice. You're trying to minimize agitation because every bit of rough handling drives off carbon dioxide, and those bubbles are half the point of this drink. The different densities. Champagne's the lightest, cranberry juice in the middle, orange liqueur heaviest because of its sugar content, create natural convection currents that mix the drink for you. Just let physics do its job. If things really aren't integrating after a moment, 1 gentle stir with a bar spoon. 1. Slow rotation. That's it. Some bartenders don't stir at all, preferring to let the drink evolve as you sip, starting more juice forward and gradually becoming more champagne dominant as you drink down. There's something charming about that approach. It's like the cocktail has a narrative arc. Garnish is mostly visual here, since you've already got cranberry and orange flavors built in, but it's worth doing right. 2 or 3 fresh cranberries dropped into the glass look festive and reinforce what you're about to taste. Some people freeze the cranberries first so they float and act as tiny ice cubes. If you're going with an orange twist, and you should consider it, actually express the thing. Hold it skin side down over the drink, give it a good squeeze and slight twist, and you'll see a fine mist of essential oils spray onto the surface. Those oils create an aromatic layer that hits your nose with every sip. Now you've got something that looks like you put in effort, even though the whole process took about 30 seconds. Here's what makes the Poinsettia quietly brilliant. It's a champagne cocktail where the champagne isn't being bullied. You're adding just enough flavor to make it more approachable, without drowning what makes sparkling wine special in the first place. The final drink is only slightly stronger than straight champagne, about 12.5% alcohol, which means it's dangerously easy to drink multiple rounds without realizing you're 3 cocktails deep at a holiday brunch. The cranberry brings tartness and that gorgeous color. The orange liqueur adds just enough sweetness and complexity. The champagne provides elegance, effervescence. All right, thank you for joining us for the West 6 podcast. Drink responsibly, and if you had a good time, press follow and rate our show 5 stars. This is Scotty signing off. May your troubles be lighter than your cocktails.
Grep News. Thomas.